Siva Sankari has about 15 years of experience, and she also transitioned herself from Oracle PeopleSoft to Oracle HCM Cloud, one of my very senior customer success manager with more than 15 years of experience. So she will take us through the GenAI capabilities that have been introduced into the Oracle HCM Cloud. Over to you, Shiva.
Thank you very much. So, hello everyone. It's time to witness the GenAI features, whatever you have heard so far from the various speakers. In today's session, we have classified into three categories. The first one will be the candidate experience, where you will see what are the GenAI features available for a candidate when he is trying to apply for a job at the job board. The second category is the recruiter experience. So what are the GenAI features available for a recruiter in order to identify the right talent to close any open position? The third category will be the employee and the manager self-service. So let's move into the demo. We are in the career site. So this is the job board where the candidate will apply for a job. You can see there are 44 jobs available for a candidate. So that candidate, if he tries to apply for a job in an organization, how will he identify among the 44 jobs what will be a best fit for him? The candidate may need to go through each and every 44 job. It's a tedious job. So to support the candidate and to save his time, we have a feature called resume parsing. The candidate just needs to upload his resume, then the GenAI will do the magic. You can see the job has been reduced to 12, and this is called job recommendation. And this is exactly one of the features which is explained by Niranjan during his session. So this feature helps a candidate in sorting the jobs, whatever available in the job board. And this job recommendation will be displayed based upon the candidate's skill set, whatever he has uploaded in the resume. The candidate can go through all the jobs, whatever will fit for his skill set, and he can pick any job from the job board. Even inside a job, we have another GenAI feature which is job fit. You can able to see a fitment score. It varies across various categories like what will be the fitment for skills, expertise, experience and education. So this helps a candidate to identify his fitments towards any position in the organization. So via this feature, he can make informed decisions while applying for any job in the organization. The candidate can apply for the job. In the job board, we have other more cosmetic features like the candidate can able to view the list of locations in which the current job which is going to apply is available, and a Google Map view is available. And then we have the next GenAI feature which is similar job. This is again another feature which is explained in Niranjan's session. So this job gives what are the similar job which the candidate has initially picked from the job board. What are the similar job which may fit into the candidate's skill set. So this absolutely saves the time of a candidate when he is trying to apply for any job in the job boards. So for candidate, so far we have seen three features, which is job recommendation, job fit, and the similar job. So this helps a candidate in any organization to take a better decision when he is applying for any job. So I'm going to apply for a job as a candidate. Be it any application, when someone needs to apply for a job, he may need to fill a lot of fields. Here you can see name, title, education, experience. So many details has to be filled by the candidate. This will take a lot of time. So to reduce the efforts which will be consumed by a candidate when he is trying to apply for a job, again we have another GenAI feature, the resume passing. The candidate just needs to upload his resume, then the GenAI will do the magic in the screen for the candidate. You can see the name is getting auto-populated. All the data, whatever is available in the resume, will get auto-populated in this book. This is a pre-screening question which is given by the recruiting team, so which the candidate will fill. This is a timeline view which displays the education and the experience details of the candidate. You can see the details are getting populated automatically from the resume. Various experience, everything getting populated. Education details are getting populated. The languages, whatever the candidate has filled in the resume were populated. Even the certificate details, everything getting populated. During our session, during the previous session, you would have heard the importance towards the data which is going to be shared by the candidate to the organization. So this data, it's not just, this feature not just helps the candidate in filling the right data in the career site. This also helps the recruiter because he is the one who is going to utilize the data. So this feature helps the recruiter in getting the accurate data in the system. Since this functionality completely avoids the manual entry, so there is no room for any error. Please feel free to stop me if you have any questions. Next, we will be seeing the recruiter experience. This is the landing page of the HCM system. I'm going into the recruiter screen. So the recruiter can able to see the list of open requisition which is available in the organization. Just opening any requisition. So for any recruiter, the key challenge is how to estimate the time which he will take or his team may take to close any open position. So to address this key challenge, we have a feature which is estimate time to hire. This is the same feature which is explained in the Niranjan session. So this feature will estimate the time which will be taken to open to close the first open hire. This day is getting populated based upon the previous case studies in your organization. Say like that, you would have created the same set of acquisition previously and you would have closed it. So this Oracle GenAI matching algorithm, it will check your previous history, your previous case studies, and then it will populate the estimates for your team. So with the help of this, the recruiter can take a better decision and he can plan the things accordingly. The next challenge for the recruiter is to identify the talents for any given requisition. The recruiter may need to go to the talent pools or the candidate pools and to search for the skill set. But with the GenAI feature, we have suggested candidates. So this automatically populates the candidates in the requisition screen. The recruiter just need to create the requisition. That's it. The system will help him with the suggested candidates. You can able to see the pictorial representation of fitment has been displayed here for again each and every candidate. The recruiter can open the candidate and he can view the list of details of the candidate. Within a click, the candidate can be added to the requisition. So this feature saves the recruitment team time, since they don't need to go to the candidate pool and to search for the employee. And they can utilize these efforts in other strategic operations rather than going to doing some monotonous jobs. Next, we will see the employee experience. The GenAI features whatever available for the employee self-service.
So question. So the candidates that you showed, those are the people that have applied for that job. Or where is the database of that candidate coming? Where is it coming from?
It's coming from the talent pool. So that is with our career site, we have something called talent pool.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So yes, it is coming from there.
So it's both the talent pool of the candidates that have applied historically, as well as your internal talent pool.
Yes. So if someone has applied for the requisition, obviously he will be part of the requisition. And this suggested candidate is someone who doesn't apply for the requisition, but he has a potential fit.
It's a mix of both.
Suggested candidates, it's purely the suggestions from the AI, not the candidates who have applied.
So if I have applied and I said she is already part of the pool, so in the suggested candidates, both are newcomers
Yeah, it's a superset. It's a superset of applied and
already there in the pool.
I'll just quickly take 2 minutes to show you how it will get displayed. So you can see active applications here. This application, under this application, who has already applied for the job will be displayed.
So basically, if I have applied, so my name is
In the dashboard, yes. And there is another candidate who doesn't apply for the job, but he has a potential fit. So he will be part of suggested candidate. The recruiter has to join this particular candidate to the requisition, then he will become a active applicant.
Okay. So from the recruiter's perspective, when we see the suggested candidates, anyone relates to both.
Yes.
Right? So it's both the applicants and the ones that are part of the pool.
Yes.
So is there anything that you can tell us about what happens at the back end, really? What is the AI doing? Is it referring to very large
Yes.
language model? How is it doing what it does, bringing the results? That is.
Yes, we have something called talent profiles. Here, if you see, the match is based upon 4 categories. One is profile, education, experience, and skill set. This is basically driven from the job profile. Whenever you configure a job, for any job, you will have a set of profiles. What will be the experience for this candidate and what should be the competency the job should have. And the same sort of profile will be available for the candidate as well. So the system will do a skill set map between the candidate profile and the job profile and will display the
Basically, the talent pool is coming from other
Yes.
Thank you.
So typically there is an AI logic that runs in the background that essentially is a 3-step process, right? So it's not just a one-to-one match that the person, the requirement is for 5 years of experience and it will just take that. So there is a algorithm that runs in the background which looks at the applied candidate pool. It also looks at your internal candidate pool that is there, which is what she was saying, and then it sort of ranks them. It then also looks at the historical requisitions of the similar fashion and the hiring trends in that. For example, for a HR business partner, you hire a certain profile, right? It looks into that. So it re-ranks. So there is multiple iterations after which you get those suggestions, and then you also get those sort of pointers on the basis of which they have classified that suggestion.
So when you did any sort of validation study for it or any counter study, the results that the AI did provide vis-a-vis any human that would manually source the candidates. So was there any variance or is the result 100% to Oracle's satisfaction?
I think it's a very subjective question. It depends on multiple factors. One is the repository of data that you have in your organization, how well you have done your evaluations, your job profiling, like she was mentioning, right? So also AI learns. AI learns from you, from your data, right? So that learning, of course, from day one will take time, and it will eventually render results from the learnings that had happened had you entered. So for example, this one, you find a good fit and you add this person to the requisition and eventually end up hiring him, right? So the AI has learned that I had given a good suggestion at that point in time. But there could be also a time where you haven't hired anybody from these suggestions. So it will learn and improvise. So it's a continuous process and it keeps on learning. And I cannot give you a number that it will take 3 months, 6 months. Sometimes it can work in 1 month. Again, it depends on a lot of subjective factors and the data that you have in the system. So AI, I think, from a logic perspective, it's an always it's a learning solution, right? It learns from you, from your usage. But at the end of the day, here if you see, it is suggestions. It is not letting you or making a mandate for you to put them in. At the end of the day, there is a human taking a decision of adding them and doing that match. So it is just suggestion thrown in as a recommendation for you to take an action on. So there is also that level of check that we do.
So are these ranked in any way, the suggestions?
So if you see that the star ratings,
Right.
those are in a way telling you the amount of match that is there.
Okay, so let's say if I have to compare, say, Ashley Smith to Lee Matthews, from because of the fact that it's got, let's say, 2 stars under education, it's ranked higher than Lee is ranked higher than Ashley. And is there a possibility to add multiple suggestions into the requisition?
Yes.
So does that mean, let's say, if for the same position, Ashley would have been added to the requisition for the same profile earlier on, in a similar profile for an old position which is now fulfilled, but Ashley for some reason did not get through. Again, the same suggestion is popping up now for a new position for the same role. Does that means it could be a chance that there could be a chance that it could be repetitive?
It could be. So that's your AI logic, right? Yeah.
Just one more question. I'm sorry, I'm digressing. You said that this AI learns based on data and based on the user who's using it over a period of time, could be months. So, is there a personal bias going into it? Because there is a bigger debate going on. I know NJ said that it is bias-free system AI when it brings up suggestions. So we are dealing with recruitment industry in the US. Some states have actually shown apprehensions on the use of AI because that will introduce a bias.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
So let me ask you a question. When you say bias, you're saying AI is learning that bias because you're adding that candidate?
Sort of, yes. Because AI is learning from me, my personal biases.
So that's the 4th pillar that Niranjan talked about, the cultural shift in the organization, right? Because here, this is the suggestion, this is purely happening on the data. Now, at the end of the day, we are also saying that AI will not force you to hire a candidate. It is giving you a pure play logic. There is an algorithm running in the background. You add that candidate based on certain bias will be a cultural shift which you have to, of course, work within the organization. Another aspect is what Shrihari was talking about, the data that you capture and the PII, the personal identifiable information. AI doesn't use that information for the decisions that is making for the suggested candidates. So there is that layer of understanding that we have built in the AI, doesn't use any of that information to do the suggestions. But at the end of the day, what we are saying is the process is driven by humans, and that's a cultural shift that an organization will have to take collectively.
Thank you.
So when the product catalog talks about improved diversity and inclusion and specifically bias detection there, is this how it's being controlled by holding on to the PII?
Correct.
Okay.
And I think today there are technologies available for you to actually detect bias in your write-up, in your job description, or
Yes.
whatever it is. So, and again, but it all comes from behavioral reflection of what you want to measure and what you want to see.
I think it's also a function of, as you mentioned, you have to train your AI. It takes a little time. I'm thinking, you made a selection. Look at AI, what it said. You also use your judgment. You have taken some candidates, correct? They have been with the company for a year or 2. You are assessing them. And then if you're able to give it back to the platform, it will further train itself. Correct? So I think it's all a matter of journey, how the journey goes.
It's also based on the model that you build.
Yeah, right.
It's a subject audience.
Madam, I have a question. See, when we have a decentralized recruitment system, and companies establishment operating in a multiple places. How this suggestion works?
Okay. Still, the talent pool is going to be hosted in HCM Cloud, right?
It was decentralized.
Okay.
So, for example, we have a unit in Bangalore. The individual the unit will take some of the talent requirements. So, another unit may be in Delhi. How these suggestions will come? Because there will be a possibility that one candidate we are A recommended, we are hiring, and another HR may be sitting in Delhi. He may reach out the person again.
So the first point would be for you to centralize it, isn't it? You will have to centralize it first and then start using the AI feature. Because again, when you're going to be decentralized, you're not going to get into a common pool. You're not going to take a common decision for all your, as an HR for all your talent pool. So the first focus would be to centralize it and then use these capabilities so that it would be much effective for you.
The fundamental itself is that you need to centralize the database. Otherwise, there is no point in running the AI.
Centralize the database.
Yeah.
Any more questions on recruitment? So corrections is one of the core feature for employees themselves. So this works as a digital directory. Any employee can search for any employee across the organization. So I'm going to search employee. This displays the correction profile of any employee. The basic information of the employee can so who is Pat and what is his organization chart, his job and the department details, bio of Pat and his interest, and what are the skills which Pat has acquired, and what is his experience in the organization. And finally, the feedback column. This displays what are the various feedback which the employee has received from the peers in the organization. So, as an employee, he can able to view any employee's profile via the help of corrections, and he can able to give a feedback. I'm going to share a feedback to Pat. I can set the visibility, like who should see the feedback, whether everyone or only managers, or the managers and the Pat or only to me. We have various security available when giving the feedback to the employees. I'm choosing everyone. So the feedback what I just gave started to appear in Pat's profile. And we have another interesting feature which is Skill Center. This helps an employee to endorse his co-worker's skill. Say like I logged in as
Siva, one question. Based on the user, will I be able to filter the information? For example, I make it visible to everyone. When I make it like that, can I restrict the information only to some extent? And to set of users who can see the actual information.
Yes, we can do that. Yeah. So in Skill Center, it is similar function. This is one of the functionality which is available in LinkedIn, where you can search for any employee or any workers and you can endorse their skills. The same feature we have available here. So these are the skills, which is Pat's skill, and the number displays the person who has endorsed the skill. You can see the skill has been endorsed by one person. When I click it, I can able to see the person who has endorsed the skill. So these features will help the employee to engage and collaborate better with their co-workers in the organization.
So I have a question here. When you got on the point that someone is post already recommended on the skill set part and it's flown into your database. How has been the integration part worked? Collaborating, synchronizing between LinkedIn to your in-house tool.
This feature is not linked with LinkedIn. This is an exclusive feature available in HCM, similar like LinkedIn.
Yeah.
In LinkedIn, how you can endorse a skill. Similarly, here also you can endorse.
That is for your internal employees, you're saying.
Exactly, for the internal employees.
Correct. So likewise, when since you're saying this is part of your internal thing, when you look at an external platform, how is being the integration working between both? If I have to look at a common tool, career side, like what we have currently now, is that there are multiple tools. That's your other social platform, LinkedIn now integrating with your career site with us, and that being one channelized platform. Is there anything that you guys have on a similar platform, or is there?
We do have integration plugins available for LinkedIn and other job boards, using which you can seamlessly integrate your HCM job boards and HCM cloud applications.
Have you seen any challenges in terms of integrating between this one with the others?
No, I mean it's a built-in plugin available. So establishing an integration with LinkedIn, we don't find any challenges.
Any other sites as such?
With Naukri, you may need to build integration, but with respect to LinkedIn, it won't be a challenge actually.
And it's a transformative journey as it starts with LinkedIn, because that is Naukri and LinkedIn being the most professional kind of sites. The plugins are automatically available to start building up.
But one of these sites between them, they have a challenge in terms of doing it. So that's why I wanted to understand how is the integration between them.
Integrations are available.
Plugins have been there, but there has been some customization that's been done to accommodate it. But some of the features have been delimited to just fix into that. That's the point that I want.
Here we need to check on the subscription what they have on the provider side as well. Say like in the Naukri, they need to say whether the customer, the subscription, whatever they have, whether it fit into the requirements of Oracle. So both the side we may need to see on this integration mechanism.
Relative customization is too different than from Oracle to Naukri. That's where I was. Thank you.
Just one point here. We also use this very extensively internally at Oracle. In fact, we have enabled few more features like you can display the employee badges also. Let's say I have received an award or I have completed some certification. You can display those the badges as well. And you can also find the management hierarchy. You can also find who is the HR manager for an employee, who is the HR partner. Everything you can display.
And from where are these skills being picked?
From our competencies. I mean, you have a pool where you can load all the list of skills, whatever you have in your organization, which the employee can go and here the list of skills are being displayed. The employee can choose it and he can rate the skill as well.
So the employee itself will choose it for them.
I mean, this is not chosen by the employee. I'm choosing the skill for another person, for my coworker.
So a quick question, can anybody in the system endorse anybody else in the system?
How do you validate the authenticity of it? It's really capable of that skill.
I don't think that's what you're trying to achieve with this. This is just, I'm saying you're good, you're telling me I'm good. Like LinkedIn, there is no authenticity. That's a different functionality, different requirement. This is just about building a community of agile.
Exactly.
People, that's what it's trying to achieve.
It's almost like LinkedIn, right? You go onto anybody's profile in LinkedIn and you say that he is good in product development, project development. There's no way of checking the authenticity, but it's like a mutually admiration society kind of a thing.
It's all about building a person profile in the organization, the kind of branding you can do. If you want to assess the competency of the candidate, I mean the employee about the skills, then you can have it as a part of your performance evaluation separately.
How these applications are how it's going to affect the management, how they can be handled, like any PMA something, how they're going to measure.
Yes. So when it comes to feedback, we have two kinds of feedback. I'll just go to the page 1 second. We have exclusively a page with a dashboard available for showcasing the feedback, whatever the employee has received or given. Just randomly pick some employee. So here you can see the number of feedbacks the employee has received and the employee has given. In the feedback, we can categorize two categories. One is the peers are giving the feedback or co-workers who may not be worked with you, and the feedbacks which will be associated with your performance document. So as a part of performance document, the organization or the manager or even you can invite someone to the performance document. They can give a feedback to you. So those feedbacks will be considered by our AI process, which will be part of my next slide. Next slide. So the system will automatically collect all the feedbacks, whatever has been received against a performance document, and it will beautifully give a summary to the manager when he is trying to fill the final summary in the performance evaluation. The next topic will be goals.
Shiva, just one question. In the connection stage, the experience that you take, it takes from different companies.
Current organization.
Yes, it's not the company's scenario.
It's the length of the service with the organization.
But it takes from the recent hiring, not the company's scenario. So for instance, I have in 2010, I get in 2020, so 2 years seniority will be there as well. And he hired in 2002, and he got there 24, so that's 6 years, 7 years, plus 2 years, 9 years. So the connection show 9 years or will show from 2018?
2018, the secondary hire. Secondary hire.
So, yeah.
I think it all depends on how organization policies are. Okay, but you should be careful. For example, somebody joined, left, and after many years came back. You would have done all the settlements the first time. So then here you need to produce an evidence saying that, oh, this person has so many years there in this company. And again the person leaves. Then you have claims on graduation. My profile shows I worked for 20 years, but actually the person rejoined only 10 years ago and left. Correct. So it depends on how organizations view some of these things, but these are all more about community, about reason. So you got to look at it from various aspects.
The major challenge for the talent management team is to assign the apt goal to the employee based upon his skill set. Again, this is one of the challenge which is mentioned by Siva, like showing the big picture to the employee. So to ease the job of talent management team, we have a GenAI feature which will help the candidate when he is trying to add any goal into his goal plan. You can see the suggested goals which is started to appear in the page as soon as the employee has started to add a goal. So these are the goals which are getting displayed automatically from the goal library. And all these goals are aligned with the employee's job profile, the department or the function what he is working. The employee can pick the goal from the goal library or else he can able to add his own goal as well. You may have a question like what's big deal in adding a goal? This is anyhow available with all the applications. But yes, we have one magic here which is the GenAI. The employee just need to add the goal name alone. The rest of the information will be shared by our team. You can see the additional information about the goal has been automatically populated. And also it displays the guidelines or the success criteria or the various measures the employee has to take while accomplishing the goal. So this assistance will give the employee a right information when he is trying to fill the goal and when he is in the path of towards the accomplishments of the goal. So to showing the big picture to the employee and to align himself better with the organization policy, this GenAI feature will help. The employee just need to click on add, then the goal will be added automatically into the goal the goal plan. The GenAI is not just to the employee. We do have similar GenAI for manager self-service. To ease his job during the performance cycle, I'm going to the manager self-service. All-in-one evaluation is a single page from which the manager can action on the various performance documents the manager has to evaluate for any given cycle. So here he has one direct reporting. The manager is going to do the manager evaluation for this employee. We can able to review the goal, whatever the employee has added, and we can give the summary. The final summary. Here comes the GenAI. The summary has been automatically populated. So this answers your question. You asked, right, how the feedbacks will be utilized by the system. So all the feedbacks will be considered by the AI and it auto-populates the summary. So this helps the manager. So during the evaluation, the manager don't need to go and view the feedbacks, whatever the employee has received. He may receive some 10 or 20 multiple feedbacks. So going through each and every feedback is a tedious job for the manager. So this saves the manager time during the evaluation cycle.
So this takes in the feedback from the connections.
Yes, feedbacks from the. I showed you one more page, right? Feedback page. Yes, there you can request feedbacks based upon the performance document. Corrections is anytime you can give the feedback. So this based upon the performance cycle. You may have a cycle. For each cycle, you have the performance evaluation. So another interesting GenAI feature for manager is surveys. The manager can dynamically create surveys on the fly with the help of GenAI. The manager can either create a survey from the existing survey, or else he can use the GenAI to create a survey. So I'm going to create a dummy survey to identify the work-life balance with my team. The manager just need to enter the survey name and click on AI Assist. I already started to prepare the questions for the manager. So you can see the survey name, the instructions, whatever has to be done when someone responds to the survey, and the questions are getting auto-populated with the help of GenAI. The manager will have the option to edit or delete all the questions whatever the AI has created for the manager. Even he can add his own questions. He can reorder the questions. So this helps a manager in taking informed decisions within the team if something has to be driven. The manager can launch the survey within minutes. Then click on just saving the survey to preview how the survey will look for the employees. So this is how the survey will be visible to the employees. The questions and the space to answer, and the questions with and then the manager can click on continue. With single clicks, he can assign the goal to the direct reports or organization. He can set the dates, he can set the reminder. Either he can enroll the survey for a single person, or else he can choose the manager and his manager's direct reports will get the survey. So with that single click, the manager has already launched the survey. So we do have similar interesting AI features available, but considering the time, we just picked the top few features which were most demanded by our customers.